So yeah, hi everyone. Finally we start. Sorry for technical issues at the very beginning. So welcome to the Riga Automotive meetup. Hi guys. Lisa. So yeah, my name is Riga. I'm busy with finding social networks, social media. There's this name. So today's agenda is we as usually we'll start with personal introductions. Then we'll tell a couple of important companies, featured events, featured news, speakers, and then speaker parts. So today we got two full-time speakers and one so-called very virtual person from NVIDIA. Jens Hung is by the way CEO of NVIDIA, and I think it's worth to listen to this 15 minutes excerpt from from his GTC conference speech last Monday or Tuesday something. And those who are live here is Andris Autis from Riga. He will tell about, by the way, he got a very nice presentation about Latvian automotive technology companies, what they're doing right now in Latvia, and what's the past and what's the future for our Latvian automotive industry. And Martin's first time here by the way this year, so he's one of the most active enthusiasts of electric vehicles, in particular with Teslas. He's a founder of the Facebook Latvia Tesla Latvia Facebook page, by the way, and he's organizing this small ecosystem around him called Latvia Tesla Owners or something. So, and he will tell about this Tesla Model 3 nightmare, which actually happened last week. There are almost 300 pre-orders in the first week. It's the first time in automotive history, by the way, this way. And then we get announcements at the end and a summary, as usually. So as in every meeting group, we start with introductions. Just briefly tell about who you are, what you're doing, and what is your automotive or car experience, interests will help for your networking. Probably starting from you.
Okay. Should I stand up?
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Andris Autis. I represent Investment and Development Agency of Latvia. From about 24 years of agency, I'm working there about 20 years. And all my life in my agency, I'm dealing with engineering industries, mechanical engineering, electronics, electrotechnical industry, technical plastics, and also automotive and technical textile. And we are dealing with international exhibitions, trade missions, with everyday contact with our representative offices abroad. There are about 20. And also with foreign buyers and potential investors.
So you are main responsible person also for representing Latvian automotive enterprise abroad, by the way, or with, by the way, collecting information?
From export promotion perspective, yes.
Okay. Nice. Martin?
I'm Martin, and I'm Tesla fan and EV enthusiast, and I will talk more later, so we'll see what I want to tell you.
You guys?
Janis Kalmans, I'm representing New Entrepreneurs Center. We are providing free of charge consultations to very beginners of even new entrepreneurs. So automotive business is new thing for me.
Okay. Andris?
I'm a journalist and working in different internet things and software development projects, and also a little bit interested in automotive industry.
Okay.
My name is Aigars. I'm the chairman at Latvian company when we represent dealer management software for automotive dealers and workshops. This is the only software in our market with vehicle manufacturer recommendations and official authorization.
What's the name?
It's Automaster.
Okay.
So it's standard in our region pretty much for biggest dealers. So we with colleagues, we're also automotive enthusiasts. We and we like to be in the dealer's, how to say, kitchen.
Cool. Okay.
Hi, I'm Janka. I am electrical engineer. I don't have any experience with automotive. I'm more interested in machine learning and how it can be applied to, let's say, autonomous vehicles.
And you are one of the rare CUDA coders here in Latvia, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
My name is Klaus Taube and I'm working for Institute of Mathematics and Computer Science in Real-Time Systems Lab. I have worked with various groups who work together. So,
Again, hi, my name is Andris. I'm representing Kakun Group Latvia, and we are working on a new type of caravan. And here I'm because I'm looking for co-founders.
I'm Alexandrs. I'm IT specialist, database developer. One of my main interests currently is blockchain technology, and my experience of automotive is that I'm trying now to convert my kick scooter into electrified kick scooter.
Good. Igor?
My name is Ingvar Stiners. I'm an IT specialist working for Oxygen services, and also working in the Institute of Electronics and Computer Science, where we are doing cooperative preparation of car for cooperative driving contest, GCPC.
So you represent one of the rare groups of self-driving autonomous driving research labs in Latvia, by the way, from your institute, because there's no more activities around here. Okay. What about you guys?
Hi, I'm Jafar Lideiro. I'm from Brazil. My past work with IT. Now I'm more shifted to marketing and media and auto enthusiast and technology enthusiast. So
Cool. How long you have been from in Latvia, by the way?
it's 2.5 years now.
Okay. Cool.
And my name is Oskars, and I'm a CEO and owner of a startup. We will make a platform. Will be also best business consultants, financial consultants, lawyers, and marketing sales consultants all over the world. And I'm here because I'm interested in all technologies, what's happening around, what's new, and that's it.
Pretty cool crowd. Okay. So for those who first appear, so just repeat the reason why we're organizing those meetups. So because of networking, to improve networking in Latvian ecosystem, because we are usually shy, we don't want to talk, hiding things in our garages and in our dormitories and don't telling anybody this is our secrets. So probably to foster this kind of openness, and would like to foster this peer-to-peer learning, open innovations, promote startup subculture, improve public speaking and English speaking skills. So merge technology entrepreneurship. It means we try to organize those meetups half entrepreneurs and then half technical guys in order to merge them together. And to internationally recognize our Latvian local ecosystem through the meetup.com. So it's easy for foreigners who is actually coming in the town to find out what is going on and particular interest, particular market verticals, technology verticals. And next time please bring your friends and just tell about your projects, speakers, companies. We are willing to learn about it. And this is a part of Latvian Technology and Entrepreneurship Meetup Network. We run engaged groups together, drones, UI UX, mobile applications, blockchain, startup, big data, and biotech, which actually is named to the Health Hacker Group. And you could find information about them in meetup.com. Pretty interesting stuff going on. In a drone meetup group, we decided to start interesting event called Riga, or I don't know, we don't come with the name, but there will be organized the first drone race event in closed environment. So we're working now for the event, which will be held in summer in May or June in Riga Powerhouse. Riga Powerhouse is industrial building with huge open spaces for catering organic dumps, and we get the initiative group started in a Riga drone meetup, which would like to carry on this first international drone racing event in Latvia. We running training events in each Saturday. So probably if you are drone enthusiast or drone pilot, probably would like to participate in freestyle or in race, some kind of event, you can check out drone meetup and find out information when those particular events are going on. So those are slides which are I borrowed from your presentation last time, and I by this mean that you will tell about your slides yourself today. Probably I just left only one slide about automotive history, probably very proud of it. So this is a Latvian car, which is actually somehow made in the Silicon Valley, so it's last century, so at least we get something more than Estonians. We get a Silicon Valley automotive history in Latvia. Important companies. You also tell about important companies, automotive production side, but here's some of the software side. I found out Autonomous, what they're doing is they make some sort of hardware, skybreaker or something, secure the devices. Sky FMS and Maplon is a GPS systems integrated in the cars, usually through the OBD. And actually I'm trying to find out what an OBD2 hackers or specialists, which is working on CAN bus or something, because I'm running one interesting startup for self-driving, and they would like to hack the cars in this way. And electric car company Blue Shock Race is a Liepaja-based electrical go-kart company, also Latvian, it's very good doing. And this is an important thing. Tesla Latvia community page on Facebook, right?
Yeah. Not page, it's not official.
Yeah, of course. so if you would like to learn about legal news and Tesla news, you just need to like this page probably, and Facebook will do the rest. A couple of featured events. Right now it's happening an interesting event in Silicon Valley called the GPU Technology Conference. I used to be there previous 2 years. This year it was not possible for me to attend, but at least I found out that there's a huge things happening last year because of deep learning and self-driving stuff, and that's why I decided to live stream listen to this CEO speech at GTC conference, and decided to record this speech and probably show up the most important part, which is dealing with this automotive part. The 15-minute part we'll listen probably at the end of the speakers. And this is hackathon going on next week. Garage 48, I think the best hackathon here in Baltics. Really like it because participating at least one of them top person, and I really like the environment and team spirit. And if you would like to build some kind of product or join the team, it's still possible to register to the event, and it will be held in a new Latvian University Academic Center of Natural Science in Tornkalns, and it starts on Friday and ends up on Sunday. So there will be a lot of tech, hardware stuff at this time. Organizers promised a lot of development boards, a lot of hardware, I don't know, Arduinos and other stuff, so you need to check out the website if you'd like to build something. Featured news, yeah, this is a hot topic from last week, of this month, Tesla Model 3 lines, and it's the first time that automotive, some kind of product is switched to the iPhone madness or iPhone style something. It's can shake automotive society pretty well. And this is kind of news from Daimler shareholders meeting today or yesterday or something held in Berlin. And shareholders really worried about Tesla Model 3 news, because it's first time in history that even not produced car is made. It's made in this pre-order like 300,000.
Right now it's more than 350.
Yeah. So conventional automakers start to worry about it. I think there's a reason for that, by the way. And that shows that Tesla is really innovative leader in not only electrical vehicles, but in business processes and startup culture implementing in all the automotive industry. And we will looking for the change for ahead. So news from NVIDIA you will hear in this CEO presentation at the end, but they really would like to go to the driverless cars, and they're going to participate in this first robotic motorsports or F1 competition sometime organized in this year or I don't know, next year. I don't have exact dates, but at least they got a nice picture of the electrical formula. And NVIDIA is developed this Drive PX, deep learning, automotive self-driving GPU CUDA-based system, embedded system for cars, faster self-driving signal processing and deep learning. So we will hear about it in the presentation. And I will also share the news about this project. This project was born in my head last year, but developed together with team in Garage 48 Tartan. And we managed to build this first ever prototype for self-driving plug-in for any car. And for those who don't know what we did, so what's the idea behind it that we're looking for to build this sensor module, rooftop module for every car, and under that, which is actually turns your car to self-driving vehicle. Those are kind of pictures, but the main breakthrough was this is the concept behind those plugins for together the data from driving patterns and gather data for 3D HD maps, which is actually very important stuff for localization. And we understood that we were very right in this track because NVIDIA announced that they also go into this HD mapping very actively. I mean, LiDAR thing and 3D point scanning and map building. And since February this year, we started looking for further development of this project. We look for, I don't know, €100,000 seed round in order to build a prototype. We looked around for resources in Latvia. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of VC funds and an accelerator program, so we go at this point start looking more internationally. Make a lot of application to international accelerator programs like Y Combinator, like Singularity University, Techstars Detroit, and a couple of others. But recently we just this week got an approval in one interesting program. So when we are now we are talking about details of the deal or investment, but generally it seems that we should go to Singapore. And Singapore is actually a very first time I was very concerned about the Asian market because it's kind of weird and far away from me. I've never been there. So, but I found out that Singapore is one of the leading countries in the world pushing the self-driving legislation, and it's probably the right place where the self-driving stuff should be developed. And so we're pretty amazed with this opportunity to work with this accelerator called Enchant. And the idea is that they get 2 months program in Singapore, so we get a challenge to move a couple of team members there in order to build marketing, this acceleration and other stuff. So then I got San Francisco, 1 month in San Francisco for PR and other stuff, for hardware Kickstarter campaign building and buzz creation. And then we got Shenzhen, China connections with labs in manufacturer plants in order to build this product. And ultimate target for this year is to build a prototype and show up in CES Las Vegas next January. So we got 9 months, pretty tight schedule to build this plugin, and I hope we'll succeed. So probably the official announcement will be, I don't know, this next week if we succeed on details of investment. And if you're interested to develop this project technically or somehow join the team, so probably it's the right moment to say about that. Yeah. Sponsors of meetups, so Riga University, one of the co-founder and represents foundation here, caring about technology and education in different ways. Microsoft sponsor. He offers free software tools for startups, so if you would like to apply to Microsoft Bespoke program, just drop me an email and send me an invite. Ultimate sponsoring financially is those names, and they're sponsoring financially, they're responsible from government side to sponsor startup in technology infrastructure here in Latvia. And Labs of Latvia is portal of technology in Latvia, so probably if you get startup or project, you tell them quite a story to spread the word. So that's all from my side. So we can switch to speakers, and as I already introduced, so first speaker is Alex, right? So floor is yours. Right.
Okay, as I said, my duties at the agency is quite wide, and actually about twice a year we as a state agency working under supervision Ministry of Economy, we have to do something with the automotive industry. It happens when we have potential foreign company asking our representatives in Germany or in Britain or in Japan, what can Latvia do for automotive industry? We should reply, we should make presentation, we should put all the offers together. Our ministers are visiting foreign countries, our Minister of Economics, our state president, and we always have to prepare some material to give them to go with this material abroad. Especially these days we are extremely busy with the preparation of the visit of Latvian Prime Minister to Germany. Our Prime Minister he will visit Hannover Messe, and it's 2-day visit. 28th of April he will be in Hannover Messe, and also 29th he will be in Berlin with a meeting with Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel. And we are, at the moment, we are in the charge of this. It's part of my presentation. I presented about 1.5 years ago in Tallinn. It was the Volkswagen supplier days in the Baltics. I was there with a trade mission of Latvian companies. Of course, we met Lithuanians, Estonians. It was quite an interesting meeting to see what Lithuanians, Estonians are doing in this. And these are only figures I start with my presentations. What can Latvia do with only 2 million people, with quite weak figures of GDP? What can Latvia do for international markets? Actually, Latvia can do quite a lot. I always look back in the history. I think everybody from us know this company, Russo Balt company, starting at the end of 19th century. We produced the first car in the territory of the Tsar Russia. Also, we produced the first railway carriage also in the territory of Tsar Russia. We started to do some military cars. At least we were planning to do that. Then we followed up with some also enthusiasts like you. It's a good example of Mr. Krasnich. He moved to the United States and Actually, he was competing with Daimler-Benz at that time. Actually, no, unfortunately, he was not successful in that. Daimler-Benz in Germany, they took over, of course, these knowledges and also technologies. And during the 30s of the past century, Latvia was a Ford factory. We produced, under the franchise of Ford, we produced personal cars, we produced small buses and also small lorries. And as Richard said, it was Latvia's success story. It was a huge factory, about 12,000 people working in Jelgava, producing minibuses for the whole Soviet Union, also for the big friends of Soviet Latvia, for Cuba, for Egypt. Some years ago I was in Egypt. I was still, I have seen this busing on the streets of Cairo, for example. Still works. And also parallel success story in Germany. It was Latvian engineer Mr. Liepiņš. He worked for General Motors, and also finally he was the chief designer of Porsche. And what can Latvia do? In every small town of Latvia, we can find some metalworking or engineering company. I'm just mentioning only the companies. I'm not so much. Of course, there are lots of enthusiasts about these companies. There are small garages, there are big or small auto repair shops, and actually everywhere in Latvia we can find engineering knowledge and also good skills of engineers. These companies who are in these small towns, in general perspective, they are joined together in two Latvian associations. It's Latvian Association of Mechanical Engineering and it's Latvian Association of Electronics. I'm only one with these industries at my working desk at at my agency. I'm very much involved in cooperation with these associations. It's every day, practically every day. It's no day without call to any of these associations. These are joint projects, joint open board meetings, especially for mechanical engineering association. It's important for you, if you are newcomers, if you are enthusiasts, to do something, to make something. You can contact these associations and you can find in the catalog of companies in Massots there are 164, in the letter there are about 65. They can produce something for you, or it's prototype, or it's electronic cables, electronic harnesses, PCB, or it's very perfect laser cutting, bending, machining, such kind of jobs. You can look in the catalog and find the companies, or call me. I could recommend the companies who are more or less in the business. In the business is what you need. And because I'm here, there are about 20 foreign investors in Latvia in the automotive business. Actually, quite a lot of companies. Of course, we know Valmiera's glass fiber company, it's a German investment. We know a lot of other, Knauf, it's a German or other, but especially in automotive industry, it's about 20 companies in automotive business. Unfortunately, these are only production sites. Generally, all these companies, all these foreign companies, they have market by them own. Me and my colleagues in agency, we can do practically quite very few things to help them. I was asking some of them, do you need our help? Okay, it's okay, we know about you, we know Andris, we know associations. Some of them are members in the associations. They are active, but in generally they are quite quiet, working, serving only big mothers and after selling products in international market. But the main thing it's a recognition of Latvian engineers, and it's a recognition of Latvian skilled workers who work in these companies. And also, I especially made this in the blue color. It's also very good perspective of regional development. There are companies in, actually the Axon is the biggest, yes? Axon is in Daugavpils, AKG is the second biggest, they are in Jelgava. Atex is a new company, nobody knows that they are in Smiltene, yes? Baltic Rim, also quite company working for Volvo, Scania, Bücher, maybe we know, it's working in Ventspils, Kulimeta, Valmiera, Dinex, they are members of association, they are in Jelgava. Also, Froli, small company, it's success story of Ventspils to attract foreign investment from Germany. Maybe, I think you definitely know Leax, Swedish Leax. They are in Pinki, and actually it's our agency's investment project to help them to invest, to establish in Rezekne. Lesefjords are in Liepaja. Actually, there are two companies of Lesefjords, just Lesefjord Springs and Lesefjord Gas Springs. I was hosting some years ago delegation from General Motors, and during these days it was started just negotiations to move the production for South Korea to Latvia to produce these gas springs, and they produce still. Today I was visiting the company some months ago. Malmar is success story of our agency. Actually, Malmar first contact was during the Hannover Messe. Also, the first contact was with Ziegler, also in Hannover Messe. Just we were sitting together and speaking about possibilities to establish the company in Latvia. Sperre Group, no, not so much in automotive, but anyway, they say we can do something for automotive. No, such is the situation. And there are some recent also, let's say, it was investment project, it is investment project, or it will be investment project. Unfortunately, this company is insolvent now, Amoplant. It was so much promotion, and maybe I can say over promotion of such kind of company in Jelgava. It was very good construction of workshop. It's this, how it's called in English, I don't know, this test drive area. And they started to produce buses for Jelgava and some other buses, and also Latvian companies, they made frames and also welding works, bending works, some other works, also interiors. Unfortunately, the company collapsed, and in these days it was the production site was taken over by AKG German AKG Thermotechnik, and they it is also our investment project in Jelgava. They are developing further and will work in new premises. Also, our investment project is Bücher Schörling. Yes, they started just with a factory for about 30-35 people. At the moment they are more than 200, and they are also working with European structural funds. They developed their own factory, they were buying new equipment. They are also in Ventspils, and they are doing a lot of things. And they are also starting to buy more and more subcontracting works from Latvia. Before everything was delivered from Germany, from suppliers from abroad. At the moment they are more and more working with Latvian own industries. Of course, I think you definitely know this company. I can say they are so much independent, I can do nothing practically for them. I can only promote in my presentations. They are so much independent, and they do all what they want by them own. I'm honest in that. And also, this is interesting company. Actually, it's the car is produced in Estonia. From Latvia's side, I can say it's just a capital handling between Latvia and Estonia. I met this boss many times, and we were speaking about. We were promoting This car, for example, from one delegation from United States, incoming delegation, but at least the car is, and we can see somewhere this, and especially in movies and also in global promotion network. In this. And also, I especially mentioned borders of this industry because if we work with automotive industry, it's always very important to speak about certifications. If the company has passed very hard work, has done very hard work with ISO TS 16000 certification, it's one step further. Just next step further, maybe some certification for space industry, and also these are the borders. So of course, if we are successful engineers of something for aircraft, we can do something for ships. We can build railway carriages. And also we can deal with space, also with the cosmos.
Just one request. Can you go back 2 slides to electrical? Yeah, one more.
Yes. You can look in this web, drivio.com. You can see a lot of good things what they are doing actually.
Okay, thank you.
They actually started with this Oscar rally car for Dakar. Then the next step was acquisition of Mitsubishi plant in United Kingdom. And next step is I think this one, and next step is this. And now they are in the third step, and also with the cooperation with Tesla. As I said in the beginning, there are quite a lot subcontractors to automotive industry. They are actually not only foreign capital companies, they are Latvian capital company, Automatizacija. I especially use this symbol because I'm a member in the jury of Latvian Export and Innovation Prize, and also of German Prize for Latvia. If I use this symbol, that means that the company is nominated to be a finalist of this prize. Yes, Automatizacija, for example, also small family company. They succeeded with Daimler-Benz, they succeeded also with Volkswagen. They are doing quite a lot works in machine design. Yes, this is a part of painting line, I think, for Daimler-Benz. Yes, then there are quite a lot of companies, I said, with the best CNC milling machines. Metal Meisters is actually, I think everybody knows that they are world champions in winter skeleton at the moment because they have the best 9 spindle CNC milling machine. They are located in Liepāja. They can do a lot of things at the moment with mechanical, just with milling, drilling and other things. Leax works for Scania, Volvo, from SKF, and also Sperre. They said we can do something for this. Then is this 2 investors, it's AKG. These are cooling systems for buses, cooling systems for military cars and tanks, and also some other for construction cars and machines. Dinex is exhaust systems. Daugavpils Deacon is still in the market. They are a little bit quiet at the moment, but anyway, the company is working, and also practically every year they are in Hannover Messe and selling the products to Germany and other countries. These are new. This is Trelleborg, but these are these gas springs. I said I was just at the beginning of negotiations to move the production from South Korea to Liepāja. Unfortunately, Trelleborg said in Latvia we work only for agriculture industry. I was also visiting this company 2 months ago. It was interesting talk, interesting factory, big factory actually, but no, at the moment they said in automotive we are a little bit quiet. From Liepāja perspective. doesn't mean that they are not active from other companies in the world. Of course, we have also some other companies dealing with trailers and semi-trailer. It's interesting that Latvian woodworking sector succeeded also for automotive sector. It's a company, Latvian Plywood, Latvijas Veneers. They produce this water-resistant plywood, and they sell the plywood for vans, for lorries, for ships, and they do the sales more and more and quite successful in that. Of course, we still have companies from agriculture sector. Everything what is on the road, we can say it's automotive, and it's also regulations, certifications. No, actually, no. Of course, the best company is again German investor Ziegler. They produce such kind, no, many products in dogwood, and they are also developing all the time. They already celebrated some 15 years anniversary some years ago. And some other, yeah, it's Baltijas Gumijas Fabrika. It's a former red Sarkanas Quadrats. Actually, they did very good thing. They sold all buildings which were on the Moscow Street in Riga and moved to Jelgava and used practically all the money to buy the newest equipment in rubber compounds and rubber parts production. They are quite good established company and also active in Germany, and also they still work with Belarus, also with former Soviet Union countries, but no, they are. And then company Artex, it's a new company. I said these parts they produce in Sweden, yes, but such kind of seats, these coverings for seats they produce in Smiljan. They have about also some 200 people there. And there are two companies, I can say it's a school of Latvian polyurethane. It's this school was established in Riga Institute of Wood and Chemistry. There are still people who worked for former Soviet spacecraft Buran. It was thermo-isolation from polyurethane, but because of polyurethane, it could be soft polyurethane, it could be foam polyurethane, it can be hard polyurethane. There are company Elk Plus. Actually, these are seats for Sochi Olympic Games, for these trains produced for Sochi Olympic Games. It is some joint venture with Lucena and also with somebody in Germany. And actually, they are also world champions in surfing, windsurfing. They produce some extraordinary parts for surfing. Surfing. And probably I said it's small company also. Unfortunately, from this sector, it was a company in Tukums Milskalne. They stopped the production. I don't know why. They were producing sound isolation and for Golfs and also for Porsche cars in Milskalne. But they were about 50, 60 people, but unfortunately they stopped. I don't know. I think it was decision from Big Rocking, from the German company. And also from other side, it's a school of Latvian glass fiber. Also scientific research and also practice, so very much practice. Valmiera, I can say, definitely is a cluster of glass fiber production. Valmiera glass fiber, they produce fiber, and from this fiber there are several companies who use the glass fiber for different purposes, or for automotive, or for airspace, or for boats and yachts, and there are also very interesting company, Kulimeta Baltic. They are absolutely quiet, but there are also some 200 people in the company. Patex Insulation, they deal with ventilation. No, okay. Also with sound isolation, thermal isolation, and some such kind. And of course, plastic industry. Yes, plastic industry. No, unfortunately, I can say maybe not so much success in plastic because of always China is always cheaper. But anyway, some companies from this sector exist. Mechanical engineering companies still produce molds and dies for that industry. There are some companies who can do some plastic parts for you or for. Actually, it's active interest from foreign buyers always about Latvian plastic industry. And electronics, yes, I mentioned already axion cable. They are also developing all the time. There are more than 400 people. This production was opened by our Prime Minister, Mr. Dombrovskis, some years ago. And also there are other companies, Hansa Matrix and Volburg. They are specialized in PCB assembling. Also in new product development. Of course, Hansa is big. If you need some quick and more personalized service, you can contact Volburg. They are a little bit smaller. Stevican, they deal with cable harnesses. Every electrical car needs cable harnesses. Please don't hesitate, contact the company. They can do something for you. They are not only ones, of course, in the cable harnesses, it's just some examples. And also Ziegler Machine Bull, they are in this airbag productions in this business. And these are the events for this year. What we as agency, we will do for engineering industries. Every year we go for Hanover Messe. Last year we were in two halls, innovation, research and development, and all the time we are in subcontracting hall, it's hall 4. And also this year we will be in hall 4, it's again supply to industries, and we will be in the hall 13, it's engineering, it's energy. Only please take if you or your friends or will visit Hanover Messe, please don't go there on 24th and 25th of April, because this year is partner country United States, and Hanover is expecting the visit of State President of United States Obama. That means that there will be extremely security measures. Hanover airport will be closed from about 2 o'clock afternoon on 24th of April. It's a Sunday, just the day when the opening ceremony is taking place. Then next is Birmingham. We choose Birmingham because Great Britain also is quite a lot of companies in automotive sector. Finland is interested for everybody. Offshore, it's not automotive. Elmia, always meetings with Swedish Automotive Suppliers Association. They are always there. There is always matchmaking about automotive industry. It's a new project. We will try to go to Electronica together with Lettera. And it's also a new project to Liefertag in Stuttgart. There will be a small booth of Latvia. And last year we were first time with a national stand in Midest. It was quite interesting. Also, we were first time in France. Because also is automotive there. And of course education, Riga Technical University, Riga Technical College, Vezek University, Ventspils University. All of them have a section for engineers. And of course, I guess there is a future for Latvian engineers who are studying more and more there in these universities. I'm happy that I'm included in University of Latvia. I am very sorry I lost complete contact with you, especially with Mr. Ruchevskis. He is still working, I think.
Janis Ruchevskis?
Janis Ruchevskis. I mean Ruchevskis.
Ruchevskis?
Or not? Yeah?
I'm not sure I know him.
He told me that they sold this, they succeeded to sell something to Valeo many years ago with sensor system for these glass sweepers. Yes.
Probably I wasn't working then
No, yeah, he's my little bit my age, maybe more than me. Yes, and also it's Integris. No, actually, this is a place for you. I kindly appreciate every possible information from you. What actually, because I'm busy with these other industries, I don't have so much time to put together all the possible Latin innovations. I kindly appreciate information from you about your product. Next day I will include all your success in my presentations. Okay, thank you.
Amazing new companies I never heard about before. So maybe there's a questions for yeah.
All those companies, they can do great things for Latvia. But talking about the automotive industry and with the rise of electric cars, I wonder in Europe as general, if Europe can give incentives to electric cars be more popular here. Like I read that in France they give incentive for buyers of electric cars. I think it's up to 10,000 euros of tax reduction or something like that. What about Latvia? What they can do to give some incentive?
Look, in Latvia there's always some inerts. Yes, Riga municipality, I think they already invented some free parking. I think I read in newspaper. Maybe journalist knows better.
No, not journalist, but generalist in
generalist. Sorry,
meaning
I'm very
of-
sorry. You're generalist.
Yeah.
Okay, there are some incentives. I was in Norway every year, to Stavanger and Bergen. Actually, more and more electric cars are on the streets in Norway. It's amazing, the support from Norway. It's amazing for these electric cars.
There's a lot of Teslas there.
Yes, yeah. Only I can say I'm visiting Hanover Messe about 17 years. Every year I'm there. Be careful, actually. Some first electric cars appear some 12 years ago. It was one electric car somewhere at Siemens stand or something. It's an electric car.
They are here.
Yes, at the moment every company has electric car. Maybe it's already past.
They are here, but I mean, not incentive to companies itself, but actually incentive to people who are maybe thinking about getting a car.
It's now hydrogen. It's Latvian Hydrogen Association. They were participating in stands. There are also already new cars and new driving systems have developed. Yeah?
But I mean, for the people that want to buy, not exactly incentives to companies, but actually to buyers. If maybe
No, there are incentives. There are Europe. This Klimata pārmaiņu, it's English. Klimata pārmaiņu instruments. This program, I think, is still working, still open. Yeah. With the help of this car, I know Riga Technical University bought several electric cars. Jauda, they have to buy because Jauda is an electric power company. They should drive these electric
not
cars.
just Delgo, practically almost all around Latvia, most of
No, yeah.
at least few.
No,
But
these
that's
incentives
under
they are coming.
European program of
Yes,
kind of
they are coming. Of course.
maybe since you are from the Latvian
State. I will meet Kuczynski.
to have free charging stations at some points.
Already that's
Free one?
yes.
We get different ministry responsible for them. Transportation ministry, something ministry.
If you go to Urmal, you can have like 5 or 6 free charging spaces.
Yeah.
In 2 years, they will open 55 fast charging like Chademo.
Fast charging from Tesla or local? But will they stay free?
Okay, there are several standards of these.
I have seen some, but they are paid.
I just read today or yesterday an article in Delphi. It was one company from Latvia. In Germany, they sold some these charging stations. At the moment, I cannot remember the name. They were once with us in Hanover Messe, but they sold the shares and somebody bought the shares, but they are still. But I cannot remember at the moment. It was electronic.
Okay, one question regarding Tesla Model 3, by the way. They're looking for expansion for Europe and looking for new production facilities, as far as I know. And some governments, like France the government, they're very proactively working about bringing the production site on their country. Yeah. As we know, European production is only in the Netherlands. And does Latvia have some kind of plan to bring or practically work to bring such kind of projects here? Or who is responsible?
About our agency, we are, as you know from our name, investment and trade promotion agency, development. Okay. Investment is in the first place. They should, if you know the people, you should contact our investment promotion department, and they can do for you. We have database of real estate, of industrial real estate. We have specialized people who
they are working in this manner that they're waiting that Tesla will come and ask for a place to build a factory, or they're working proactively?
No, they work in the proactive, of course. They're going to international matchmakings, they go visiting exhibitions, also during Hanover Messe, in every exhibition, so of course.
Okay.
We're working in one actually as a team.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, thank you. Okay, Martin, that's your turn. It's working, by the way. So, Tesla.
Hi, like I said, my name is Martin, and some 10 years ago I started to look for my dream car, and it was not Ferrari or something like that. I was interested in technology and computers, so I wanted something smarter than internal combustion engine cars. So I started to look for that kind of cars, and at that time it was the most popular was Toyota Prius, but it was hybrid. It was not 100% electric, and I didn't like it actually, and the price at that time was also quite high, like $40,000 or something like that. And a little bit later, I saw in some blogs and news that some new company, Tesla from Silicon Valley, want to build a new electric car. And it was Tesla Roadster. It was 100% electric, but it was really expensive. And I understood that it's not my dream car because it's not practical for me. It doesn't suit me. In Riga, it could be a second car if you're really rich. But so at that time, I realized that this car is not for me. But still, I acknowledged the Tesla and started to follow this company, how it goes for them. And so I was checking the news like almost daily, and so almost 2 years ago, a little bit less, I started the Tesla Latvia Facebook page to see is there interest in Latvia from people for electric cars. The most popular is Tesla, so I decided not to make any like electric car fan page, but just Tesla fan page, because I saw that Tesla is the best, and it's still the best, I think, and that's why I decided to make Tesla Latvia Facebook page. And right now we have some 820 likes, and it grows slowly, but like every few days someone clicks a like, and yeah. You can see most of them who are interested in Tesla are young men, it's just for information. And then what else? This is about me. So I reserved Model 3, like a lot of people in the world. I think I'm around 100,000 because I reserved my Tesla Model 3 before they actually showed it. I did it online. I didn't go to any Tesla store because I thought that
Because there is nothing in Latvia.
no, because the first who will get Model 3 will be owners of Model S and Model X, and those who are in California. So I thought that so many people want Model 3, there's no way that in the first 100,000 Model 3 I will gonna get it. So I'm not in a hurry. I know that I'm not gonna get it.
They didn't show you the numbers.
Yeah, they didn't show me the number because I reserved it, and after half an hour, when they presented Model 3, they said that right now we have like 120,000 reservations, so I thought I'm around 100,000. And then some time ago also I bought some Tesla Motors shares because my friend is an investor, and he said if you like some company, you should check out the stock price and stuff like that. And if you can't buy the product or you like the product, you should also buy the shares of the company. That's like a better engagement. So if I'm investing in this company, I also actually checking out the news more often. And it's not just some car I like, it's also my investment in the future. Also, the interest of Tesla and electric vehicles got me to drive other electric cars like Volkswagen e-up, Nissan Leaf, BMW i3, and Kia Soul, and also I've driven Model S quite a few times. I have a video here, I don't know if we should watch it. If you want, we can watch it. That's like a little bit more than 2 years ago. This car was one of the first in Eastern Europe. The owner bought the Tesla Model S from United States because it was not official in Europe, so he bought it in US and imported it in Latvia. This is a small, like a vlog style video I made like 2 years ago. And the owner was very friendly. He gave me to ride the car, and since then I'm really a fan of Tesla. The good news is that I thought that this was my first electric car experience, and I thought I will never like other electric cars, but actually it's not so bad. In reality, all the electric cars are really nice. The acceleration is good, it's quiet, and it doesn't have tailpipe. I think most of you have seen the Tesla, how does it look and how much it costs. And I was very happy to be in Tesla car. I was like reading in internet more than 1 year, and then finally I tried it, and it was better than I thought it would be. So this is my first time in Tesla, and I felt happy all day that day. It's in Latvian, but it's just like it's not too deep review of the car, but just my feelings about it. The owner is a Russian-speaking guy, and he actually bought the possibility to buy the car faster than others. He bought the place for $20,000 because he wanted this car quickly. So maybe some people will buy Model 3 spot. I know some people thought that this is a good business to reserve the car, and in 2 or 3 years the line will be so big and people will want the car and they will pay for the spot. Like, yeah, the video is not so serious, so I will continue my presentation. So the question was for today, is it a hype? Like, is it like trending? and I will try to explain my view on this. So we can speak about mobile phones, how it was back then. All the mobile phones were so different, and they looked very different, and the cost was different. And then Steve Jobs presented iPhone, and everything changed. So all the phones since then look like that. And I was thinking this scheme maybe works also for electric cars, because the old electric cars look very strange and funny, like old mobile phones. Those are really old ones. And the best one before Tesla was this one, like true electric car. It was General Motors EV1. There's even a movie about this car, how they killed the electric car. They produced this car, everyone liked it, but they took away the car and destroyed it. It's an interesting movie, you should.
It was something around June 2000.
Yeah. And then, since the reveal of model, the real mass market car, I'm thinking maybe the scheme like happened with mobile phones, maybe it will happen with cars. So maybe from electric cars, we get the mass market Model 3, and all the cars will be like that. It's just a thought. Now, the other thing is about the hype. The people are really wanting this product. This is people waiting for iPhone. I think it was like that for first 2 or 3 iPhone models. I don't know if it's still like that. Maybe not. Still like that?
Yeah.
Very similar.
It get worse.
Yeah. Very similar. But this is very strange because this product costs $35,000. It's not a phone. Phone costs like 600 years. And you need to wait for it 2 years. Yeah. And most probably these people are lining up and they even don't know how does it look. And they were camping. So it's very similar to iPhone. So people saying that Tesla is like iPhone, it really is like that. I think it's a lot of similarities for that. Yeah, so these people were standing in a line, they didn't know how the car looks, but they want to buy it and they are ready to put a reservation money, $1,000. And then wait around 2 years to get it. The Tesla mission is to accelerate the advent of sustainable transport by bringing it compelling mass market electric cars. So mass market electric car is Model 3 because it's not cheap, but still it's more available than Model S. So that's why everybody is interested in this stuff. And Tesla wanted to build a sports car, Roadster, to get some money and attention. Then they're building more affordable car like Model S, get more money, and then build Model 3. So about Roadster, like you see, it's like low volume, high price. And I was checking out the Google Trends for Tesla Roadster since 2006. You can see the trend line is quite stable. I will talk about the last trend line later. After the Model S was introduced later, we can see the trend line is a lot bigger. This is the interest from the Google search. So people searching for this product, and we can see that Tesla Model S is a lot more popular than the Roadster. And again, the last line up, that's because of the Model 3 interest. People are just searching everything about Tesla. And then a few months ago, the Model X was introduced. It's an electric SUV from Tesla. It's also all-wheel drive and electric, and also quite expensive. And the trend line is the yellow one. It's not so popular as Model S because it's not so long time since we know about Model X. And then the fourth model is Model 3. and it's really hard to compare the interest. Here we can see the green line, and I take away the Model X and Roadster, so I try to see the difference from Model S and Model 3. It's still so big, so we can even see more detailed information. We can see the interest of Model 3 is really, really big. It's not like Model S.
What could be the absolute numbers of
The Google Trend doesn't show that, it's just like 100%, so we can see just more than 10 times more interest in Model 3. And that's why actually the spike is for all the cars from Tesla in the last month because of Model 3. And one more thing about the Tesla stock, the shares. I have read a lot of information about the first people who bought the Tesla Roadster, and also those who couldn't afford Tesla Roadster. People like me and some maybe more rich people, they bought Tesla shares. And we can see that when the Roadster was selling, the Tesla share price was not so high. Because people didn't believe in this company. They thought this is just a sports car, it's only for rich people, and it will not produce real car for everybody. So after Model S was introduced and they delivered 18,000 Teslas, the stock price was really high because the Roadster time it was around $30, and when the Model S was selling really good, it was around 200, 250, so you can see it's quite stable, from 200 to 260, 70, something like that. And about the reservations, we can see that in the first 10 hours it was 100 to 150, and in the first few days it grew more than 250,000. Today it's more than 300 already. And the Tesla share price grew from 200 to 260, so it's a really big growth because of this big interest. This is Tesla share price in last 5 years. We can see the beginning it was Tesla Roadster, Model S and Model X in the middle, and now we can see some change when the Model 3 is introduced. And I want to show you other company share price like General Motors. I just wanted to show you not the price and not the growth, but the tendency is not growing for them. Also, Toyota tendency is not as a growing share price. And Volkswagen is another story, as we remember, about the Dieselgate. So the question is, so if this hype is so big about the Model 3, and if they really bring this car to the market, what will be the Tesla share price? If you remember how it grew from the Roadster to Model S, it could possibly grow also from Model S and Model X to Model 3 like 2 or 3 times. It could possibly be like that.
325,000 so far.
Yeah.
Straight home.
There's a small survey in American media about if people want to pre-order Model 3, and 2/3, 1/3 doesn't want to pre-order it, 25% still thinks about that, and 40% are going to do that. And then good question is about if you pre-order this car, if you really want to buy it in the end, so 70% says yes. And I also, after I saw this car, I still want to buy it, and I'm saving my money, and when I can, I still buy the Tesla shares, so after 2 years I will convert them in the money, and I can make my Model 3 cheaper for me at that time. So the question was, is it a hype? I think yes. And is it reality? I think when the delivery starts, we will really see all about the hype and the Tesla share price and the interest, and we'll see how it goes. But right now we can see it's super popular stuff to talk about, and people are really waiting when it's start to deliveries. That's about it.
So yeah, now question.
I have not a question, but I know a fact that I'm totally sure you don't know about Tesla and in this region. 1 month ago, I was traveling on my business trip. I have customers in Lithuania, and I was going back from Lithuania, and I was particularly interested to find one workshop that specializes in US market Toyotas, and they're just doing US market Toyotas. And I found them near Panevėžys, Vilnius town. It's like almost middle of nowhere. It's out of the town, some old facilities. And we were talking about Toyotas and Siennas, Venzas, and I had my interest there. And we spoke to the guys, and they said, we do this. We do 20 years of this. We know those, or 15 or whatever. They said, but we bought 2 Teslas just to see how it goes. And just in the middle of nowhere is a really old barn. They have 2 Model X's, which were written off in the US as a damage, but actually it was just outer panels of those cars were damaged. Actually, not frame, not the engines, not the batteries, nothing. And they showed us the video of Teslas driving in the yard. So they are repairing Teslas in the Lithuania in the barn, actually. And they say, well, it's nothing complicated. We checked it. It's mostly Mercedes-Benz in the suspension, something from Jaguar Land Rover also, but all the parts can be found and can be replaced. No worries about that. And we started talking about the price. They said, well, we can give you away this for 50,000 euros. It was 1 year old, 600 horsepower version with the four-wheel drive and everything. So 20 or 30,000 miles. So Lithuanians are doing those cars, so there is a future for these cars in the Baltics.
It's kind of funny because the salvage cars in the US, they are deactivated by Tesla, by the way, as far as I understood. If an insurance company makes a salvage certificate for them in the US, they get the auction, so they are switched off remotely. So if you would like to switch them on, you should provide Tesla headquarters, I don't know, sales office, the bill of repaired materials where you show up that all materials are new and the right one, and you did it in some kind of certified repair shop or something. If not, this Tesla is just dead.
Which really makes sense.
Yeah,
but the car was running there.
So probably they not in salvage certificate state.
Maybe
so
they were slightly damaged.
Okay, it's kind of strange. Okay, any more
Probably
questions?
somebody will come up with some black Tesla network, like they do with pirated games or something like these salvage Teslas.
Well,
badly repaired, but still for roadworthy, only illegal in the United States, but drivable in Russia.
No, but
Jailbreak Tesla, yeah.
Jailbreak. Yeah, but as far as I know, the trials to break Tesla's encryption system doesn't succeed yet. So they're pretty good in that. But of course, those are two Linux embedded computers, by the way. One is for, as far as I understood technically, they got an infotainment system for this big 17 inches touchscreen running on Ubuntu Linux, and the second Linux is running operating system of the car. So
well, actually, the infotainment system is not important at all. You can replace that with anything like custom Android or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
the main thing is driving systems. That's what you need actually, because everything else is just well put in your iPad, whatever. It still drives. You just need to keep driving.
And one more small thing to this. You don't underestimate Lithuanians. I know for a fact that they were repairing Chevrolet Volts in a official dealership. They were repairing salvage Chevrolet Volt before Opel Ampera was officially introduced in this market.
I also know about Lithuanians that they make these schemes that they repair something, they sell it, and actually it's a bad stuff. So it can be bad, it can be good.
Those stories vary from this side
Yeah,
to
of
that
course.
side and back, but
It's quite
it's
shady.
a fact
So.
that
Like
they
trading
know.
car from four other cars, right?
But where is the closer Tesla dealership, by the way? In
Helsinki.
Sweden.
Helsinki. That's the guy last meet said it was Helsinki. He got his car from, and he was waiting for his tires. Didn't get them anyway, at least for quite a time.
He claims that sales, customer support is very bad for. Not really.
At least here.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better in America. In California, maybe you can get a better
Questions.
support.
One thing that I'm worried is about the superchargers place, because they put one in Riga, one in.
Rezek,
There will be one there too.
I think so, around there. Rezek.
I remember that I saw that there was one in Riga, one in Tallinn, one in Vilnius.
Yeah.
With
How about the rest?
when the Tesla Model 3 launch was, I saw somewhere right that they were planning by the time 2017, when the models actually start delivered, they'll have 6 superchargers in Latvia. Sounded like wow, but I couldn't actually believe that. But
I don't know. In their website there is the map and there is the timeline. It goes to 2016. I saw only one in Riga, only one in.
or maybe they have only 2 actually Tesla superchargers. Maybe there are other charger stations will be
Because
described
with the Model 3,
photos.
with the Model 3, you'll not be able to go from Riga to Tallinn or Riga to Vilnius. So,
Okay. Last question for Martin.
About the charging, there's this project, and in the 2 years, Latvia will have some 55 fast charger. It's not Tesla supercharger. It's like the chargers for all the cars, and it's gonna be for a cost. Some say like €5 for half an hour charge or something like that. They are not prepared the system yet, but they will announce it the next year, something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
From marketing point of view, Tesla is very special, but from technology point of view, are there any key difference between Tesla and other Nissan Leaf and Volkswagen or others?
The biggest one, of course, you can say it's performance, it's fast, and the driving range is big. But the main thing is the over-the-air updates.
Pardon me?
Over-the-air updates. The car updates itself, like when the new update comes out, it updates. And other cars should be brought in the dealership and they update the car. So they can make the car better like every few weeks. That's the thing. It's more technology company than automotive company.
It's more computer on the wheels, not car with computers. So it's more.
And those who say, oh, it's a simple car, everybody can do that, still we don't see any other car doing company doing that.
one thing that I thought was genius from Elon, it was something that I actually was discussing that with a friend of mine back in Brazil after the Roadster, was that all the cars before the Model S, they had or batteries in the center column, or batteries on the trunk, or batteries in the front. I was discussing that with my friend, and why they don't just do what Model S
On
did,
the wall.
put on the floor. You know?
Because it
Saves
also
space.
makes its weight center a little closer to the ground. It's more stable.
Makes stable, yeah, but then it needs some armor plates.
Yeah.
So that you don't puncture it on some brick on the road. And in Latvia that might happen real soon. What about these other companies? Are they better? Well, they haven't got where the Tesla already is. Because like last meetup, I was telling about these that Volkswagen Golf Mark II from 1985,
Yeah.
electric car. And Dampis said, yeah, well, that is above that Volkswagen Mark 7 GTE, that's a hybrid. And at that point, I didn't even know that Volkswagen actually has full electric Golf now. And there's one in Latvia now, the number EX1212. They're doing for shows, and they had a photo session with that Mark II. By the way, two Ds together from 30 years apart.
Oh, nice.
And that Mark II will be in Automotive, and then it will be for a few weeks probably on display in a smaller Auto Riga stuff. That one.
But still, all those cars.
But
The driving range is-
they're making some electrics now, but well, Tesla already has been there, done that. They're just catching up. So yeah.
If it's so easy, why don't the...
Yeah, well, why everybody's not doing that all the time? They're just now starting to catch up. So Tesla's better. That's really my point.
I think they started as an electric car company, different than others. That
Yeah, but they haven't done any car before. Other car companies has the experience of building a car, actual car, that they should probably just replace the components.
They did that. Ford did that. Who else did?
Yeah.
That's a question for automotive people here.
Yeah.
If somebody can answer that, it
But
would be
those
nice.
were cars that were Volkswagen did that, but they are cars that were not the
Yeah.
concept. It didn't start in
Yeah, maybe we could leave that for discussions later on. So, but my last question is about how many Teslas by the way in Latvia? Do you know?
Could be around 8 Teslas.
Only 8. Or Model S. Model X.
Not yet, because in Europe the deliveries haven't started officially yet.
Okay.
Maybe we're gonna get some from Lithuania
Yeah,
faster, I don't know.
I asked about that.
But I know that maybe around 10 Model X's are pre-ordered already from Latvian people, so they're just waiting for them. Because SUVs are more popular in Latvia than sedans, right? I think in the next 2 years we're going to see a lot of Model X's in Latvia.
I've seen 3 different Teslas in Latvia, with Latvian license plates and one from Estonia.
That's
And one
much-
with Latvian plates I've seen 3 or 4 times.
The one you can see almost every day on the Gertrudes and Kurbata Street corner, it's Mr. Krupnikov's.
We know all of it. Yeah, so.
He's a really friendly. Actually, I could give you contacts. He could come here. And he's a really good speaker.
Yeah.
Who is the one that lives in Leeuwarden? There was a red Tesla there.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. I always see him driving there.
There's also one company who thinks they are official dealers, but they are not. They just say first in Baltics Tesla dealers, but some V-Mobile, I don't know, some dealer company.
Baltic is.
Baltic.
No, Baltic is.
No, the other one, the different one. They're selling some.
Tesla doesn't work with dealers.
Yeah, of course.
No,
They-
they're used cars.
So they're just buying the Tesla car and then they bring it here and sells to anybody who wants it. So it's simple stuff.
Okay, time is running. Thank you, Martin. So we get 15 minutes. I think it's worth to listen to CEO of NVIDIA because they're really pushing boundaries of self-driving cars. And this is 15 minutes, the most important part from the keynote speech. So I think it's very good.
AI is also an engineer for cars.
Here.
There are just so many announcements. The fact of the matter is, we all know this. AI is coming to cars. AI is coming to cars. Where we thought about helping to create self-driving cars, and the basic approach was sense, plan, act, using traditional computer architectures, using traditional computing techniques. We're going to continue to do that as well. We're going to continue to do sense, plan, act. The basic loops of self-driving cars is know where you are in the world, figure it, based on a map, also based on your senses, localized. You see what's around you, and then you act. Plan, sense, plan, act. The basic loop of robotics. So we decided to build a computer dedicated for that very functionality. we built the world's first AI car computer. It's called the NVIDIA Drive. Our basic approach was this. We would build an end-to-end computing platform, all the way from training the network that would ultimately run your car. Training the network is the